Hello, this is DotP Fafnir, and this is another replay review, and this time we're going to be looking at a position 5, pretty much 5 Rubick support game, and this comes from DotP show listener and a friend of mine, Deep Coco, and this is what he sent in to me when he submitted this replay. He said, I've played Rubick only a couple times. I know he's a good hero, want to improve with him. I'm sure I made a ton of misplays. We lost the game, and I feel like a win was possible perhaps if I played better, but who knows. I'm just trying to improve better as a position 5 player in my solo rank game, since everyone wants to play core. Any tips on position 5 solo support in ranked would be greatly appreciated. So we're going to focus on supporting, and specifically supporting as a hard 5, maybe even position 6, depending on the game. We'll see how much help he gets from everyone else. So the first thing is, the hero we're going to look at is Rubick, and Rubick is a pretty fun support, and he does some interesting things. His first ability is called Telekinesis, and this is a stun. It's on a 22-second cooldown, and you basically pick an enemy up, and then after a relatively short duration, you then drop them back on the ground. But the important thing is that you can direct where they get thrown. So you can pick them up and throw them backwards towards you, so you can pull them back, you can push them away, you can dictate where they land. Now the duration is quite small, and also the other thing to note is that when you pick them up, they are stunned because they're up in the air. You can walk under them, you have free pathing, and then when you throw them to the ground, they actually do an AoE ground stun to all the units around them. However, the unit you picked up is not stunned by the when you drop them. So it is a very short stun for one skill point, 1.5 seconds for when you're grabbing someone. The good thing about the spell is that, like all of Rubick's abilities, it has a great cast time. It's 0.1 second cast time. There is a bit of a backswing to it, but his cast points are amazing, and this is just a feature of the hero. And as you level it up, its range increases and the duration increases, but it doesn't scale great with leveling. So typically you're going to max Fade Bolt. Fade Bolt is his AoE nuke, and how Fade Bolt is it's a fairly standard nuke. It does not great damage, but what it does do is it also does a debuff. So you hit it at main target, does 75 magic damage, 75, 150, 225, and 300. Fairly standard values for level 1 nukes. Nothing special there. And then it has jumps from all the targets that are nearby, and it just chains off them. So it works like a chain lightning sort of spell, if you think that. And each time it jumps, it reduces its damage by 4%. Now the important thing that each time it jumps, it also does a damage reduction. So heroes will lose 20, 25, 30, 35 damage, and creeps will also lose damage. And this debuff lasts for 10 seconds. And the damage reduction and the damage of the spell scale, as does the cooldown. So this is actually a really good deep pushing tool, because if you're trying to stall a push, it hits all the units that it can possibly jump to, so it does a lot of damage even though you are getting that reduction of 4% each time, and the damage debuff means that the creep's damage is greatly reduced. His third ability is a passive called Null Field, and this is just a straight up in a 900 radius. He buffs himself and anyone near him with increased magic resistance. This scales upwards from 10%, 14, 18, 22. This ability is not super useful, though they've made it better at level 1, so it sometimes is worth a value point in specific situations. Used to be Rubick's would just skip it, but now Rubick's have, I think the general wisdom is that you do scale it up, but you want to max your other first 2 abilities first. And then finally, the ability that makes the hero is his ult is Spell Steal. On a 20-second cooldown at level 1 at 20-18-16, he can take the last spell that any enemy hero has cast, and this does penetrate spell immunity. So even if they're magic immune, you can steal whatever ability they use last. And this is what makes Rubick an amazing hero. Getting his level 6 makes him much more powerful. The other feature about this that is notable is that if he dies, he loses the spell, and also it has a duration of 3 minutes, 4 minutes, and then 5 minutes. So you only have a limited amount of time to use it. Also, if you steal a spell again, you don't get a refresh cooldown. The cooldown stays constant for each spell you've stolen, so you can't like Earth Spike and then steal Earth Spike again and then Earth Spike a second time. And also, like I said about his cast points, for his nuke and telekinesis are very good, and spell steal's the same way. He has his own cast point of 0.1 seconds, so there's a lot of really nice abilities that have crappy cast points, so when Rubick gets the spell, he literally casts it better than the other heroes. He is the Grand Magus, after all. And so there's a lot of nuance in how you use this, and there's just a skill cap of Rubick is off the charts, especially if you get his axe. But we're going to be focusing on supporting and the hero itself, so I'm not going to wax on anymore about Rubick. Oh, and before I forget, let me put up my typical plug. If you want your replay reviewed, please go to either the Reddit, or you can tweet at me at Fafnir Dota. I believe I have 2 replays queued up, maybe a third. I don't know. I've got 2 that I firmly have down to review, and after that I'm actually out. So I know some people have been saying, oh, I'm sure you've got a ton. I actually don't right now. I've been kind of working through them. So now let's go on to the game. So, first thing I'll note is that you're buying the courier, sentries, and 2 obs, tangos, and clarity. So that's really good. Basically, when you're playing a position 6 sort of support, that's what you're going to have to do. You're going to have to buy the courier, you're going to have to buy your sentries, and you're going to have to buy your obs. Give 1 to the offlaner, and that leaves you with just enough for a smoke and a tango, or a clarity and a tango. Now, you didn't give your mid any tangos, but I think that's okay. Like, generally I will give the mid tangos if he requests them, or just to give it to him preemptively, but he bought his own tangos, so that's fine. Well, sometimes mids, when they see solo supports, will buy their own regen. Your lineup's a little wonky. It looks like you're gonna have offlane Animage, a bounty hunter, and then you're gonna safe lane with the Wraith King. So it's gonna probably be a rough game, honestly, because you've got a pretty darn greedy team with Rubick and a bounty hunter, and so it's gonna be hard to kind of man mode and fight them. But I like that you're immediately running out, bought your items quickly, and you're running out to lane. Oh, and just for reference, Deep Cocoa is approximately 2.5k MMR, and this is a solo rank game.
I have never made a stun jungle.
Now, the first thing I will comment is, so you put a sentry mid, which is kind of nice, because there is a bounty hunter, and this will let him roam around. And you actually gave him the ward instead of the offlane. That's good. A good bounty hunter should be placing wards, because he can get around. But I would not be placing a preemptive sentry ward like this here. Sentry wards only last for 4 minutes, and it's 100 gold. You basically just put 100 gold on making sure there's no high ground ward here. But the thing is that you ran there very quickly, so the odds are they haven't been there. So if you don't see them placing it, it's not there yet. It's better, honestly, to leave that sentry ward by the tower, or give it to the morphling if you want to commit it to mid. Give it to him, so that way if he feels like the Pudge can see him, or if he sees them place a ward, because a lot of times, especially in 2.5k bracket, that sort of thing, this happens less in the higher bracket, but it still happens in my solo rank games. You'll have people just place observer wards directly in front of you, so you know exactly where they are. So then the morph can just put it down, eat it with a tango instantly, get some regen, and get himself 100 gold. And that way you know the sentry's not going to be wasted. And then if morph wants to waste it, he'll waste it. So I would not have placed that preemptively. Now, if they have a Ricky, if they had a bounty, that makes a lot more sense to do that, because then you protect your mid laner. But you're the guys with the bounty. Like, if they put down another sentry to counter your sentry, they're just going to eat your sentry instantly. You want to, like, be reactive with sentries, and so you could have potentially given it to the bounty for that reason as well. So looking at your player perspective, you're looking at bot rune. Looks like there's going to be a fight there. So you walk top. That's good. Try to secure runes with your carry. It'd be nice if Morph was up here. Unfortunately, if you look at their comp, they have really scary runes, because they have a Marana and a Pudge. And, okay, that sucks. Your Wraith King got arrowed, and he's going to take a lot of damage from that. But you did pick up Lift, which I agree. If you don't pick up Lift there to stun that Juggernaut, he's going to just spin. Okay, well, he skilled Crit. If he had skilled Spin, and you had not lifted him, that was 100% a kill. So, you know, it is what it is. Now, to stop here, you running to lane, and then this is something that I think you need to do, is when you run to lane like this, after the rune fight, you had a brief period of time when you could have run out and gotten a ward. You could have either placed it over here if you're worried about, like, say, the Marana roaming, or if you want vision of this area, or you could place it, my preferred place is actually right here. It gives you vision up into this area, and it also gives you vision of somebody TPing, and it's a lane ward there. But it's up to your preference. It also, like, will let you know if they're blocking, that sort of thing. Instead, it looks like you've been you went and blocked creeps, which is good. You definitely want to block creeps when you can, but that's honestly the carry's job. Your job is to get vision down and protect him and set him up for success. So we'll go back to here, player perspective. It looks like they have an offlane jug, and that kind of sucks because Wraith King's already lost a bunch of HP. So I like what you're doing here. You're harassing him, and you're harassing him from outside creep hacker. That's pretty great. Looks like you now have vision of the Mirana, but you don't notice because of your camera position, which is okay, and now you kind of have to run away. And this is one of the downsides of Rubick. Rubick is low armor hero with low base damage, and when you have to go stun telekinesis level 1, you don't even have a nuke. So your damage potential is incredibly low here, and you have a melee carry to support. So this is going to be a rough lane. This is the lane that you're probably going to have to babysit this Wraith King in, unfortunately. Especially since he's already taking so much harass. Fortunately, though, they're pushing into you, so the Wraith King should be able to get these last hits under tower. Or not. Oh, there you got that one. That's good. So yeah, if you had vision here, you could maybe, you know where the Mirana is, you could work at maybe wrapping around, putting some harass in. Okay, so you just casted a spell there for fun, but Rubick's mana pool is pretty good. But it's not the greatest, and you just spent 120 mana, because you've already spent mana, and you just pulled her in to not get, like, you're not pulling her in to take any harass. When you use stun, you want to be setting, telekinesis, you want to be setting things up, or playing defensively. Here, you're not pulling her into a creep wave, so she's not going to take a bunch of white damage. Your Wraith King wasn't punching her the whole time. He's reacting after the fact, so this stun is just kind of a waste. It's better to kind of stun when, like I said, when they're in the middle of the creep wave, or when the Wraith King is ready, start punching her immediately. See, yeah, she just walks away, and you just are 120 mana down, and now you don't have your lift for 22 seconds, which could be problematic if they aggress upon you. So, yeah, this is kind of a babysit lane. Okay, it looks like Bounty's up here, and you're gonna go for a kill. So you go for this. He gets off his spin, so once he gets off his spin, this isn't going to happen, unfortunately. Looks like Bounty's going to get away. Okay, you skilled Fade Bolt, that's the right skill point. Next. Going for him, but you're not going to get him. Wraith King's going for it, but he's just too fast. Unfortunately, Jug's a pretty fast hero, and you guys took a ton of regen. Traded a bunch of regen for that. The other thing I'll note is I don't think you clicked on the Mirana. I haven't yet. She is actually down to 1 tango. So I haven't seen you click on her yet, and I didn't see you click on the Jug either, though you might have. Make sure you click on the Jug. The Jug only has 2 shared tangos. So even though he has a poor man's shield, this is somebody you can kind of punish with harass. So that's why getting that other ward vision down, because that lets you kind of safely maneuver around the Mirana. Because you don't want to get isolated by both those heroes. They can run you down and kill you. But getting harass out just with right clicks, by doing what you're doing before, you know, staying outside the 500 creep aggro range and just punching them a lot, will go a long ways when the enemy has very little regen. So we'll go back to your perspective. That was a good gank attempt. If Wraith King stuns on time, you kill that Jug. He let him get off the spin before. If he gets off the Wraith King stun, that's good. And you have to initiate with the telekinesis because he can easily spin to dodge the Wraith King stun. So, I'm not sure what you're doing here. It looks like you want a side pull at 23. That's okay. Problem with this is I don't think there's a big creep. Yeah, Mirana's already arrowed one of these creeps, so you're not actually going to pull the wave back. And that's something you need to check to make sure that the camp's all still there. You're going to get a little bit XP from this, but you'd have been better off going back to the small camp and just pulling that. See, as it is now, the creep wave's going to re-meet here, and it looks like you and the Wraith King are actually going to miss out on some XP here. No, it doesn't look like you do, so that works out okay. Okay, so you go to put the ward down, that's good. This is the first big mistake you've made. So, you place the ward down here and you see the Mirana's there. At this point, you need to run back this way to your Wraith King to help you out. Now, I know Wraith King's actually low, out of regen, doesn't have a stun, but there's a creep wave here as well, so there's some protection there. By running this way, you're faced with a Mirana who, she has a stun, she should have leap, but she hasn't skilled it yet, and she has Starfall. So, running this way, you're not running to safety. You got to run to safety of your tower and your Wraith King and the other creeps. So you took the wrong path. And then you also made the other mistake of hitting the arrow. Getting hit by an arrow. And I think you're dead now, right? No, you're going to get away. Okay, if she had leap, she kills you because she can just leap after you and run you down. So now I like what you're doing, that you're going back, but here is something that as a support you should definitely know how to do, is when you're in this situation where you are very injured, no mana, like you're depleted, you have to go home. Don't walk all the way back to Fountain, especially when you're just level 3. It's better, you're better off just suiciding at this point because your death timer is incredibly low, and your no boots, your walk time is actually really long to get back there. So you've got 200 gold, so you go into the shop, you buy your TP, that's 50 gold. You've got another 150 gold left. The courier's already been upgraded, so then you buy, you could buy another set of tangos. You could just spend all your gold. Make sure that your reliable gold is, let's start up the replay again. Make sure your reliable gold, yeah, you've got all unreliable gold. So you just spend all your gold. You can easily do that in a combination of wards, regen, and the TP you need. And then just go get yourself killed on the neutral camps. Just walk into them, right-click the neutral camps, and just die. And then you can TP back to lane, you'll be back there faster. The other thing I'll say, it looks like you hit level 3 and you finally skilled up. You don't want a point of null field. In this lane especially. You're in a situation where you're contested lane, you need all the damage you can get. And while they do have Blade Fury and Starfall and the arrows for some nukes, this 10% resistance is nice, but it's not nearly as important as having doubling your nuke damage. I mean, you literally, Fade Bolt does 100% more damage for 1 more skill point and 10 more mana. So you definitely always want to get level 2 Fade Bolt at level 3. And then after that, I still get more levels of telekinesis. I can't think of, there's not many situations where I want to get that value null field before I level up these 2 skills. You know, situations can vary, but this is not a huge situation where I think that's true. So it looks like you are spending your gold, you're buying some obs, which is nice. But, so, okay, you're giving one to, you give him the sentry. I would have given him the obs, but the one thing I'll say here is, so you're in a contested lane, and your Wraith King's actually out of regen. So what I would have done in this situation, you're not going to be able to go place those wards. Buying them's great, and trying to give them to the bounty is good, but I would have rather bought more regen for myself. So buy a set of tangos and then like a salve, or like a salve and maybe another clarity, something like that. Give you some regen to bring to lane to give to Wraith King. So because if you can salve him up after an exchange, or maybe even salve him mid-fight, or salve yourself mid-fight, it can change a contested lane. Like right now, vision isn't your priority. Your priority is like to make sure your Wraith King isn't completely worthless, because if you leave him there against 2 heroes like Moran and Jug, he's just going to get crushed. So you're not going to be able to roam around. It's really Bounty's job to get the vision out, and you pretty much need to communicate that with him. So
this'll come in handy.
Now it looks like you're gonna walk all the way back to lane, and this is just an incredibly inefficient waste of time. And as you can see here, your Wraith King just killed. And now, had you been there, maybe you can't stop that because the Jug spins, so you can't lift him away. But maybe you could have done something about it, because he had vision due to your ward. Like, he just got hit by an arrow because he was being a dumbass. So I would have TP'd the lane immediately as soon as my regen was almost topped off, because the fountain regen does linger, so you could utilize that. And this would get you back there faster, and then you're just not going to have a TP to save mid or save bot. That's what it is.
Regeneration.
Nice job getting that last hit. Yeah, get last hits you can. So now you've got your 2 obs. Not particularly useful at this moment. You're just fade building, try to harass this. Oh, the bounty's there. Okay, it's good. It was pretty good. Problem though is the Jug's already gotten a pretty hefty advantage. Nice lift, and then finished him off Wraith King Sun. So that was a well executed gank. You traded the Juggernaut for the bounty. Definitely a worthwhile kill. And this is where kind of the salve comes in. So Wraith King has traded up all of his mana and all of his health for that kill. Completely worth it. But if you'd bought another clarity and that salve instead of the wards, which you really can't place right now because maybe you'll place it subsequently, but you haven't used it yet. You could then have him disengage to tower, give him a clarity, give him a salve, and all of a sudden he's back at fighting shape. And this is just, you know, the old Slacks mantra: keep your idiots alive. These obs can help keep him alive, but honestly, he ignored the arrow. He had an obs on the arrow, so just give him some regen and health from there. So looks like you're going to get boots. You absolutely need boots. There's no question about that. You see, right now you have a chance. I do like you placing this ward. I will say I don't like you walking into a creep wave. First of all, you have no regen. You just took a ton of damage from the white attacks of these creeps. And also now the Mirana knows there's a ward there. Like, you got to be sneaky about placing your wards. Try to do it when the creep wave's pushing, or you can move around. There are other good ward spots that I think are good for protecting this. Like, if you can get to the river, you can place one here. You could also place one here to kind of check if the mid pudge is going to rotate, that sort of thing. So while I do like that ward spot, like I talked earlier, don't place it in the middle of the creep wave, because if they know the ward's there, a lot of the efficacy is actually lost. So you just took like 100 damage. Like, so now you're quite low. You can't fight really. If you fight right now, you're gonna die. Like, you're a little squishy boy in a Rubick. And because you didn't buy regen, now Wraith King isn't. Looks like you're pinging out, oh god, this Juggernaut's just gonna run at us and kill us, and he's absolutely right. Nice arrow dodge there. That's one thing to keep in mind. When an arrow is shot at you, you want to run perpendicular to it. Run at a 90-degree angle from the flight of the arrow. That gets you the most out of the targeting path of it. Don't run straight away. Like, too many people make the mistake, oh god, get away from the arrow, and you try to run home when the arrow is shot directly at you. See, now the wave is pushing. That's good, so you can just get it, but both you're at low health, so you can't even fight right now. Arrow, nice dodge again, although you almost walked into it. So yeah, this is kind of unfortunately not a very exciting. This isn't a great, like, this isn't a lane that you have a great opportunity to pull. I don't like this pull in there because even if Wraith King gets off his stun, like, you guys don't have the health or mana to follow up on it. Ooh, you almost got nailed there. Nice dude for the last second. So now you've put your stun on cooldown for, you know, it's still on cooldown now, so it's coming off. It's not the suit longest, but, you know, what are you really accomplishing there? I do like that you're trying to check mid, see if you TP there to get a kill. Looks like you can't, so you just gotta keep going. So yeah, overall, I like mostly what you're doing. There's some refinements you can make. When you're facing contested dueling, I do like to stack this small camp and try to pull it when the creep wave's pushing opportunity. But since they're just pushing it into you, the Wraith King should just be accepting this from, oh, and you tried to run away, and now you're just gonna get gone on. Unfortunately, it looks like the Mirana's gonna lose her life for this too. No, it looks like she's gonna get away. Nope, Bounty's got her.
Take me.
But Bounty foolishly decided to mountain up with the Jug, and he just kills her. So 3 for 1. That sucked. And kind of the whole reason that happened is because you and Wraith King were too low, and you didn't have enough regen. You couldn't afford to bring enough regen to lane because you're the position 6 support and you bought all the support items. But the Wraith King could have. But you could have compensated to buy, like I said, buy more regen. But now you're back. You've got health, and just gonna kind of try to salvage this game at this point. So now Jug's used Omni. He's level 6. Your Wraith King's level 5. At this point, I think you need to consider, okay, this lane is, you know, it's fucking lost. I can babysit this guy all I want, but I don't know if we can accomplish much. And maybe you need to look to make something happen across the map. It's kind of a judgment call here. Like, don't do that. So you're trying to keep the wave relatively around your tower for safety purposes. By nuking the creep wave, yeah, you're punishing the Jug, because Jug doesn't have regen, and he's got just these 2 shared tangos, though he obviously can buy some regen. But all you're doing is you're pushing the creep wave a lot, because you're taking away half their damage, and you're doing a lot of damage overall to the creep wave. It's 150, then, you know, 4% less, 4% for each one. But cumulatively, you just did a massive amount of damage to that creep wave's hit points. So now it's going to push. And you don't want to push out the wave in this situation, because when they're pushing into you like that, you just want to be able to farm as close to your tower as possible. Looks like Wraith King is still going to get all the last hits, but Now, are you going to pull here? Looks like there's no creeps to pull, so yeah. Now, the situation where you do want to pull in those sort of lanes is when you have a pull set up. So you're ready to pull at the 53 mark on the side of that camp, or you want to pull here in the small camp and then connect it. But you weren't really looking to do that, so don't push. Like, you want to push to set up pulls occasionally, but in this situation, I didn't judge you as having set up pull, so yeah. See, now they're pushing it right back into the creep wave. So yeah, he's got a quelling blade and tread, so he should be able to last hit under tower just fine. Race King's base damage is pretty baller. So yeah, like I said, at this point, I think you really do just need to roam. I guess you could be trying to sap 6 with your XP, but okay, it's not 10 minutes yet. But at 10 minutes, definitely buy yourself a tome to get yourself level 6. Bounty, Bounty could maybe fight you for it, but I just try to get it for you so you can make things happen. Because, oh, yeah, and here's the other mistake. So you want to max Fade Bolt. So if you do go for this value point, and I'll put another point in Fade Bolt, you're such a low damage support, you really, if you want ganks to be successful, your stun is just a setup, and it scales really terribly, only 0.25 seconds more duration. Yeah, the cast range is nice, but even that small. Max Fade Bolt. You just have to max Fade Bolt on Rubick. So, looks like you're going to try to make something happen here. Okay, you get the initiation on the stun. Yep, you killed this jug. That was a really nice gank. And that's how, like, I will say this. So, Wraith King went to stun first. And I wasn't looking at the jug's mana situation. But yeah, they have a Crystal Maiden, so I assume his mana was fine. You actually want to be the one who initiates, because the projectile of the Wraith King stun is very slow. So whenever there's like those slow stuns like that, you want to be the one to stun first, because yours is instant and it doesn't give him time to dodge. There's no projectile. The Wraith Kings, so if that jug was good, he would just hit his Q right when he did that and just walked away, and you wouldn't have been able to lift him. Yeah, Bounty could have slowed him with his Orb of Venom and his Janata, but you know, that's not going to probably slow him enough because he's got phase boots, and he'd just be able to walk away from you. So next time, try to be the one who goes first. Yeah, you'll end up stacking stuns there. Oh, looks like there's a Pudge. Wild Pudge has appeared. Unfortunately, he sees you guys. I don't think you're going to catch him. Oh, there's the Mirana ult. There's no vision. So, you did force out the Mirana ult. That's not bad. Your AM, is offlane solo AM, has a 10-minute Battle Fury. No, sorry, 10-minute Vanguard. That's actually not that bad. Although, I'm guessing he's been solo with the Magnus. I don't know if CM's been jungling or what. If he's solo with the Magnus, that's not good either, but it's not bad. So you're finally 6, so you've got the ability. So you should skill that up immediately. Realize you even hit 6. I guess you're trying to get last hits from mana boots. Why haven't you skilled up Spells Field? I am really confused right now. Oh no! Oh no! You put... Oh man, that is one heck of a misskill. So yeah, Rubick is a hero who you absolutely have to get his ult. So that's just a major mistake. Make sure you always skill Spell Shield. I didn't realize, but looks like you might have deviated from your build a little bit. And now you're just pushing the wave out. I'm not even sure. Like, are you just trying to be greedy and get your mana boots? Yeah, I think you're just trying to be greedy, but now you have no mana, so you can't even protect this Wraith King, and you're just trying to sap level 7 now. Like, this is just incredibly inefficient of your time. Like, you're better off, if you want to get your mana boots and you're this close, you're better off pulling the small camp. Even if it's a single pull, get those last hits on those creeps, and get the gold there, and get yourself some XP. You create more XP for yourself, your team, and you pull back the wave. As it is right now, you just kind of greedily spammed your spell out and didn't accomplish anything. So I think you played this early game pretty well, but then like now you're kind of, I don't even know what to do with myself, and this misskill has just made it worse. Like right there. So the Wraith King, let's go back a little bit. I don't know if the Wraith King communicated with you because I don't have your voice chat, but the Wraith King, let's go to the Wraith King's trying to pull. He's trying to pull here, and so he pulls it. Okay, he pulls it too early, but you also are body blocking these creeps. You're slowing them down. So any chance this pull has of working, you've worked against because you're blocking the wave. So make sure you are thinking about what is happening. In that situation, the Wraith King rightly said, okay, we pushed it, we've pulled, we should stack this and move out the camp.
Yes.
Oh, you just get arrowed. That sucks. You got your mana boots, that's good. I don't know if there's a tome available, but if it has not been bought, you should definitely buy it, because getting your level 7 so you can have spell steal is so amazing. Yeah, you're gonna get this kill. I think you got it. Yep. Oh, track gold, so good. Okay, now you have spell steal, so we can stop talking about that. So, the thing about Rubick is you need to look at what spells are good, and there are a ton of good ones. Marana Arrow is amazing. Magnus Skewer is amazing. You can initiate or escape with it. His Shockwave is good. It's an extra nuke. Crystal Maiden, both her nukes are good. Her ult's good. Jug's abilities are all really good. And Pudge, his hook is amazing. His ult's also great. So you've got a lot of good spell steals. So there's a lot of potential plays here. Now the one important thing with spell steal that I haven't talked about a ton is you need to steal before a fight happens, because it does have a cooldown. So you want to steal as soon as you can. So like walk up, get into vision of someone, and just steal. Because ideally in a fight what you want to do is you want to have your stolen spell ready, use your stolen spell, then steal another spell which has a separate cooldown, and then use that spell. So that basically you've got your Fade Bolt, you've got your stun, you've got a 1 stolen spell, and then you've got a 4 stolen spell. That should be hopefully be level 4, because it's the spell that's used. So you can get like a Blade Fury and do a bunch of damage that way. Like these are all the things you can do. Like right now, go steal a spell from Jug. There's no reason not to steal a spell from Jug. I don't know what spell you get, but I'm guessing it's probably Blade Fury, or if it's Omni Slash. Omni Slash is pretty good. It's like an invulnerability that also does quite a bit of damage. Like, there's just no reason not to steal spells. So hopefully you steal this from looks like you're trying to. Oh, this Jug. Oh man, you can get right there. Oh man. Unfortunately, you killed him before you could steal the spell. Like, you could have stole Blade Fury or perhaps Omni Slash there, but you murdered him. I mean, getting the kill is good, so I'm not going to blame you there, but you need to prioritize that. So, now that you've got your mana boots, I don't know if wards are off cooldown, but you... Look. I don't think they are, because you and Bounty have both gone into kind of greedy mode. There are actually there's 4 wards on the map, so they're out there, so you're fine. But you should absolutely, there's Imrana in the game, so you should absolutely be carrying a dust and sentries, because you can never push into Imrana safely without a sentry down because of the Moonlight Shadow. And if they're trying to escape from you, you actually don't want to place a sentry. You want to dust them, because a sentry they can just walk away from, and they're trying to walk away from you. Dust them, it slows them down, and they can't. You know, just walk away from the sentry. So you should have a pack of sentries and dust on you pretty much at all times. Okay. You should steal from him immediately. Oh, steal from him now. You can get RP. Okay, you got RP. It's the dream. It's great. And AM blinked aggro? What is... Okay, he blinked a strange way. He should get the heck out of there. Yeah. So that actually really worked out, but you need to... I mean, Shockwave is a really good spell too. Like, you couldn't count on him RPing there. Him RPing there was super dumb. Like, so make sure you steal a spell early. But now that you got RP, you kind of got to cherish this and try to get a kill with it. Like you buying the tome, like you buying the sentry, but you need to have vision here. Oh, looks like Bounty gets a kill bot. So yeah. So now I try to go set up the kill. Maybe with Wraith King, go try to RP the Marana. Like, just go try to kill someone with it. Like, I know it's always tempting to save it for some big team fight, but you're at the stage of the game where you just need to go kill somebody. And for that purposes, I would have, like I said, sentry, dust, smoke, and a TP. Instead, you're kind of walking the lane, and I guess you're pinging out. I've got RP, let's try to do something with it, but AM's not a good ganking partner. Like, Wraith King has a stun, Morphling has a nuke, Bounty can do some damage. Like, you sitting here doesn't accomplish anything. You should be trying to gank where an enemy hero is. So, okay, you're TPing top, you ping them out in the woods. This is mega dangerous. I like that ward for vision, that's good, because you know they're trying to gank. But you've got RP, so you should be looking to set up a something with that. I don't like where your camera is here. You're safely behind the tower. You should be looking over here. You've got ward vision down. You should be looking here trying to figure out where the heroes are. Just something to look up. Okay, you get the nice lift off. You pull him back. But your team's not going in on this. Okay, now they're going in. Why'd you back up, man? Go in there and RP him. And see, now you have no vision other than track. Track's great and all. Like, see, I don't understand. Like, let's go back a little bit. 605. So we're here. They're not Moonlight Shadow right now. This is a replay bug. So you get that lift off, that you back off because your team's not quite ready to back you up. So she leaps in like this. Like, you don't have lift. What you do have is RP. Like, just RP her. Just RP her. She's dead. She's under a sentry. Oh, that's their sentry. Never mind. So just RP her right now to stun her. She hasn't gotten off her Moonlight Shadow yet. And then Wraith King can walk up and stun her. And she's dead. Like, she's 100% dead. Instead, she walks away. She hits Moonlight Shadow now. And this is a failed engagement. When you had a reverse polarity off, you know, ready to go. And the Magnus didn't have it. Skewer, and you're just kind of jousting here. You think you're looking for a big RP, but if you just kill one person, oh,
Perfect.
Bounty gets nailed. That sucks. Yeah, if you just killed a Mirana, for example, with that ability, that you've already turned this team fight. The good news is you're making space for your aim to farm, so that's okay. But you really like had a situation where you could have potentially RP'd the Jug or the Mirana and just killed them, and then this turns into a big win. So now it's just kind of a Mexican standoff where you're both all kind of sitting there, and they're farming the wave, and then you farm the wave once under tower. They've got sentries all around here, so yeah, and they know this now because of that illusion. Yeah, if Wraith King just walks up. Honestly, Wraith King's got an armlet in his ult. Like, he should just man mode, walk up there, initiate with a stun, and then you kind of follow up with an RP of your own. Like right now, yeah, lift him back. Why didn't you go and RP him? Pudge is here now with the hook. Yeah, there's no. Oh, and your reverse polarity actually expired. Did it really expire? This might be a replay bug. Yeah, I really think your reverse polarity expired without you even using it, so that sucks. That definitely sucks. So, yeah, like, just look for opportunities you can take. Like, this team fight situation was really good for your team actually right now, because you're sitting here and this Animage is just getting so much catch-up farm, and you've got such a greedy team. So, yeah, I'm going to assume your RP has expired at this point, so you can have it. So that's one of the reasons you kind of just got to take your shot as Rubick. Like, if you just sit around and don't use an ability, you're going to lose it eventually. Like, or you're going to die. Like, something's going to happen, and then you got it. And if you just RP'd and then stole a spell immediately from the person you RP'd, you just have so much impact on the team fight, and you could have initiated it and won it for your team. Instead, you know, you kind of didn't leverage it. And this level 6-7 peak, where you have max Fate Bolt, you have Spell Steal, like, is a power peak for Rubick, and you really do want to take advantage of it. I do like that you picked up some sentries, so you can count on Shadow and more vision, but like I said, Dust is important. Okay, Magnus has a blink, he's going in on this Wraith King, but who cares? It's a freaking Wraith King. You walk in. I don't know what you're doing, man. I really think you thought you still had RP there. Or maybe you still didn't have RP there, but you just walked in and didn't use it, and then just died. Like, yeah, I think it expired and you didn't notice, or you like were trying to hit it and didn't have the right hotkey there. So that was mega bad. You just walked in, didn't get off any of your abilities, and died. Like, I don't know what else to say. You had plenty of opportunities too, but so now you're dead. And we're gonna watch AM's flip push. How's AM's farm doing? Oh my god, his farm is terrible. I do not know what he's been doing with all the space you made, but he has not been farming enough. Looks like they're just pushing now. Bounty Hunter's going on this Magnus. He went too early though. Yeah, Magnus is just gonna get away. He's got blink. He's fine. So, yeah. So now at this point, you just need to get some wards up. Protect your jungle. I don't like that ward. That tower's gone, so this ward doesn't do anything for you. You now want to protect your jungle. Like this ward was okay for the fight. This ward is good. You now would want to maybe ward mid over here. Maybe we start warding up Roche because they can't take Roche. They have a pretty good Roche team with Magnus and Power, Jug, Air, Mirana, and Pudge. They have a lot of CC for the Roche, so maybe ward up Roche. But that ward there, yeah, instantly gets dewarded. But even if it hadn't, like what's important over here? Tier 2 tower is dead, and there's this one hard camp, and you have 2 wards covering it. Like that's just wasteful. You buy more sentries, which is good. You should have sentries on you, but like don't place sentries willy-nilly. Like place sentries when you're pushing, or you think you know there's a ward there. Like it's important not to waste sentries. You can end up sinking a lot of gold into sentries in these situations that you don't have as a position 6 Rubick. So yeah, now like I think your priority is trying to get a spell steal, get a smoke, and then you get a kill with that. Oh, and Morphling is mega dead. Yeah. Didn't morph strength fast enough. Yeah, steal a spell, man. Like, you're in range. You just gotta steal. Like, I know sometimes you will die for it. Like, you get punished. But like, he just used hook, so it's still on cooldown. You could have just stolen hook from him, or stolen his ult. His ult's really good. If you lift into a Pudge ult, 1, you do a ton of damage with it. And 2, you're locking them down forever. Yeah, like this, you're trying to de-push the wave. Now, oh, he gets caught, and you're just gonna get Omni Slash, and you're dead. And that's a situation when a Jug's running at you like that. You just gotta lift. You gotta turn around and lift him. Like, there's nothing to do about it. Like, you're not gonna get away from a Jug with phase boots who's just trying to run you down. There's no way. And not only that, by not having a spell kind of queued up, you weren't in a situation where you felt you could be aggressive, and they're just gonna initiate on you with that blink. Oh, this game is terrible. So, I think at this point we can kind of see what I can see how this replay is going. They have superior initiation. They don't have nearly as greedy of a team, and they just kind of run at you guys with the superior team fight. The kind of way to get around this would be to, oh man, for your team to not get hooked on monsters. Okay, you got Blade Fairy, good. But that's like only your 2nd spell steal of the game. That's 21 minutes in the game. You gotta use spell steal. Oh, and then you get RP because you didn't put a sentry down, and then you're getting CM ulted. I think you're dead anyways because you're so low. Yeah, Magnus is just gonna snipe you. No, you're gonna get away. But yeah, that's where like if they're walking away with Moonlight Shadow, you gotta dust or you gotta throw down a sentry. Because, oh man, your team's just catching arrows all over the place. This is unfortunate.
Radiant's top tower has fallen.
So yeah, I don't know if I can say much else about this replay. I like the Windlace pickup. It gives you some extra movement speed. I'd have a raindrop, honestly, at this point. I'd get rid of this Ring of Regen. It's +2, doesn't matter. Get a raindrop, Windlace, dust, wards, TP, and mana boots. I think those are the items. Then have smokes on the courier or smoke on you if you want to set up a gank. But I hope I've given you enough things to talk about. I focus kind of on the laning phase because it's kind of a babysit your carry stage in a dual lane. But also, like as a Rubick, once you hit that 7, you gotta. It's like getting Chrono as a Faceless Void. It isn't a sign that you farm more. You get spell steal. You go get steal spell so you can have impact. And then once you get that, like you got that RP, go get a smoke. Go kill someone with it. Don't wait for the team fight to happen. Don't like sit there and wait for the perfect 5-man RP. You just gotta go for it because your job as a position 5 support is to make space, especially in a greedy team like this, is to set up kills for your cores and make space. Make space for your cores, whether that's with vision or setting up kills or just making things happen on the map. And really, you played a very passive Rubick game. The laning phase, that was unavoidable because you had to babysit your carry and your bounty was roaming. And when he came is when you made plays, and that was good. That's how you have to do it in that situation. But once the laning phase breaks down, you've got to be active on the map and using spell steal aggressively, and then using those spells to make things happen. And with that, I think you could have won that game, because I think with RP you could have gotten like a kill or two, maybe killed 2 up top. Maybe you defend that tower. Maybe you give AM some more time to farm, and just keep allowing like extending the game's length to the point where sheer entropy would give your 3 carries, who all go mega late, enough items to just win the game with you. So I think I'm going to end the replay there with that. The one thing I will say again is, again, you can follow me at Fafnir Dota, and you can also follow all the shows in the DotP network. And this will be posted up on the DotP TV 1, numerical 1, on the YouTube channel. And please send me some more replays to look at. After finishing this one up, I'm now down to 2 queued up, so I could certainly use some more.